A DMCA over Ubuntu? What? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's your friend and your guy and your favorite Comcast hater, Gardiner. So BitTorrent has a bit of a reputation, doesn't it? I mean, in the early days of MP3, you had Napster and Morpheus and Kazaa and LimeWire, those apps and services, while they were pirating, they definitely changed the way a generation of people listened to music. But as things happen, Kazaa and Morpheus and LimeWire, they all went the way of the dodo. These were companies that made money off of people pirating music, and that's a crime. So someone came along and said, you know what? I can do this one better. BitTorrent. BitTorrent emerged as a more resilient and distributed alternative to the likes of file sharing services like Kazaa or LimeWire. Torrents allowed users to connect to the BitTorrent network. They allowed sharing of file fragments between peers on the network and allowed for the complete saturation of your bandwidth on your home internet. And torrents were also content agnostic, meaning that torrents could not only share MP3s, but could share entire albums or videos or even, software. Due to BitTorrent's distributed nature, it actually became a very popular choice with Linux distributions, since anyone who has the torrent running in their torrent client would be able to share that file with anyone else trying to download it. And indeed, Linux distros didn't just allow their ISOs to be shared via BitTorrent, they encouraged it because it saved them hosting costs. So imagine the astonishment of Reddit user Nate60, who posted on the rlinux subreddit just a few days ago with a screenshot of an email that he got from his ISP. In the email, Comcast claims that a copyright holder had notified them that something was stolen using Nate's Comcast connection. Quote, "We have received a notification from a copyright owner or its authorized agent reporting an alleged infringement of one or more copyright works made on or over your Xfinity internet service. The copyright owner has identified the IP address associated with your Xfinity internet account at the time as the source of the infringing works. The works identified by the copyright owner in its notification are listed below. We remind you that use of our service in any manner as that constituted an infringement of a copyrighted work is a violation of Comcast's DMCA policy and may result in the suspension or termination of your service and account." That last bit there is important. We'll come back to it. What steps should I take? Please search all devices that may be connected to your network for the files mentioned in the complaint detailed below and delete them. Let's just scroll down here and see what the copyright infringement was. Ubuntu 2004? That's the infringing content? What the hell? Well, it's pretty clear that Canonical wasn't the ones who issued this copyright notice to Comcast. That's idiotic. Why would they do that? And if we scroll down to the very last line of this email, we'll see that it was actually issued by OPSEC Online Anti-Piracy. Let's take a look at their website, shall we? All right, let's click on license. Right off the bat, the content is changing in the page and it's not updating the URI. That is a huge no-no in my opinion from a usability standpoint. They don't know the first thing about user experience. All right, cool. But the question is, do they understand intellectual property? Quote, online brand protection. We pair experienced specialists with our online Insight TM platform to protect your brand online against everything from counterfeiting to gray market activity and IP abuse. So their online Insight TM platform is so effective that it even works when no copyright infringement has happened. That sounds like it's not a very reliable platform to me. Now, all that's assuming that Nate's email is genuine. I have no reason to think it isn't. And I was going to speculate that Comcast actually contracted OPSEC here to scare their users, but there was an interesting update to this story just before I started recording this video. On Wednesday, OPSEC tweeted, quote, "OPSEC Security has been made aware of a report that a DMCA notice was sent to a US-based ISP user that referred to an ISO image of a Linux distribution. It was purported to have been issued by OPSEC Security. We can categorically state that OPSEC Security had nothing to do with this matter." Now keep in mind, this was not the first statement that these guys had made about this hubbub. In a now deleted tweet, they said, quote, "OPSEC Security DCMA," typo there, "OPSEC Security's DCMA notice sending program was spoofed on Wednesday, May 26, 2021 by unknown parties across multiple streaming platforms. The content in question all appears to be Ubuntu Linux ISO. We have incontrovertible evidence that proves that these DMCA notices were not perpetrated by or originated with OPSEC security. OPSEC's enforcement efforts are occasionally spoofed by a third party in an attempt to damage OPSEC's reputation. These attempts are easily identifiable and easily disproven. We are notifying the appropriate authorities about this incident. So not only is their platform so effective it detects non-copyright infringement, but it also is so easily spoofed that people have done it multiple times. But it's also easily detectable. Sure, okay. I don't know about you, but that seems like a damaged reputation already. However, if we take them at their word where they say that they weren't involved in any way, which, you might not want to at this point, that leaves one of two options for this email. The first option is that there was a malicious party at play trying to damage the reputation of OPSEC and sent a false DMCA claim to Comcast, which I don't know if I buy that. That's weird and stupid and convoluted. Or the second and more likely solution is Comcast doesn't care and just wants to scare people away from using torrents completely. Look, Comcast doesn't care what you're torrenting. If you're torrenting, then there's a good chance that you are going to be fully saturating your home internet's bandwidth. And that on a cable connection can actually diminish the quality of other users' cable connections. I'm not saying it's right, but if someone is torrenting, then besides sharing Internet Archive torrents or maybe Linux distributions, torrents are still used for pirating. So I suspect that what's happening here is that Comcast has a hard line saying all torrenting is piracy and all piracy must be eliminated. So send threatening emails to our users who are using torrents. That's what I think is going on here. It's pure speculation. I have no basis for thinking that other than that's just what it seems like to me. But I would love to know what you think about this. Do you think that Comcast is just sending empty DMCA threats to their users? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I think that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. I want to give a special shout out to Marcus Batson, one of my top tier Singularity members over on Patreon. Without my patrons and my YouTube members, I wouldn't be able to do this. I recently started doing 3 videos a week because of you guys, the supporters on Patreon and my YouTube members. I recently just started doing 3 videos a week here on the channel because of you guys, my patrons and my channel members. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to invest the time in doing 3 videos a week. So thank you, I really appreciate it. If you believe in the work that I do and you want to help support what I do here, the best way to do that is by supporting the show on Patreon or becoming a channel member on YouTube. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.